Good afternoon, everyone. I think we're live. Yes, we are. Just have to find myself for a minute, so give me just a second. How's everyone doing? When I'm getting all connected, let me know that you're on. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday because it's a pretty dang good day. There we are. Okay, let me know that you're on. I see there's a few people on, so say hi in the comments. Let me know. See if I can see myself bigger. There we go. There we are. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me know that you're on. I see there's a few. Okay, now I'm ready. Sorry about that. Always have a little bit of a time delay getting things hooked up. So, hey Kendall, how are you? Oh, and I even pulled it up on the big screen and everything. Hallelujah, it's a freaking good day. How's everyone doing? Say hi, tap in, let me know that you're here. So, hi Amanda. How's everyone feeling on this fine Monday? Are we a little apprehensive this week, or is everything flowing for you so far? Post in the comments, say hey, and let me know how you're feeling. So I'm excited about today. I got it this morning and you're doing good. Awesome. Awesome. I was so excited I got it this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go live because I got some things to talk about. It's been a weekend. It's been a weekend for me. So I had an interesting weekend, and I want to come on and share something today because I am so excited to be talking about are you willing to let the universe guide your path? And what are you willing to let go of to stay, and I say stay, and to live in that state of peace? Because I learned some valuable lessons this weekend. And it's funny because I've learned them before, but I keep relearning, it seems like, and I keep relearning them in different ways and different things come up for me, and I'm like, oh, I already went through that, but I'm going to get it again, I guess, over here. So, it's funny as we go through this healing path and I'm on it just like you are. I learn things as I go, and I relearn things over and over and over again. And it kind of builds that momentum in there. It gets it really sealed in, helps you seal the deal. So welcome today. I'm glad you're on. So let's talk about, are you willing to let the universe be your guide? And let me just shut my phone off here so it's not gonna. So the first thing that I want to tell you about is this weekend we went up to our cabin and we had not just one thing, but many things happen in a row. And I kind of wanted to go to that, oh, feel sorry for me place, because we start thinking that the things aren't working out for us and we want to go down that path. How many of you have been there? You have things that just don't work out, things that don't work out like you thought they were supposed to work out, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again. And you start thinking, oh my gosh, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do, or maybe this isn't right for me, or whatever it is we tell ourselves, I'm not worthy of doing all these things, or geez, things never work out for me. Has anybody ever had that happen? And it wasn't anything that was like life pressing. It wasn't anything that was like over the top. It wasn't trauma. This was just, we had made plans with people and things just kept falling apart. Kendall says, same here. And Saturday, I kind of wanted to go to that place of, oh my gosh, things never work out for me. And oh my gosh, life just isn't what I thought. And we want to go down this shame shit story here and just keep rolling in it. Anybody else want to do that? Because I really did on Saturday. And then it's funny, I realized when I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I posted this thing from Wayne Dyer that says, peace is retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. And I got thinking about that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Because my perception of what is going on in these situations, what was causing me to go down that place of, geez, nobody ever supports me, nobody ever does these things, nobody blah, 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 whatever it is, the story that you're telling yourself. And it was just my perception that got me in on this whole shame story, basically. And it had nothing to do with what was the reality of the thing. The reality of the thing is just things just didn't work out. It was how I was perceiving it and how I was taking it personally. And so you can apply this in any given situation. And this morning I got up and I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was still kind of mulling over these things in my head, and I still kind of wanted to be upset about it. And I heard, what are you willing to let go to find your peace? And I thought, you know what? This isn't worth it. This isn't worth the upset. This isn't worth all of these things that I'm thinking that I'm going through. It's not worth it. It's just dumb, petty, stupid things that don't even really matter. And I'm making a story up about how I want it to matter, because it's not the story. It was my perception of the story. It was how I wanted to tell the story. There's a million ways that we could tell the story. Hi, Betty. Welcome. So let me know if you understand in situations in your life what I'm talking about here, because I think it's important that we see that our perception of things is what gets us where we are. Our perceptions of life, our situations, how we grew up, all of these different things is how we learn to perceive life. And the thing is, just like we gathered those perceptions, we can change it in any way to make it look like we want it to look. It's kind of like living in Wonderland sometimes. Like, we just get to go wherever we want to go, and we get to do whatever we want to do, and we get to see things however we want to see them. And the thing is it's a choice. It's always a choice. And when I asked you, are you willing to let the universe guide you? It's as easy as saying, you know what, I'm not going to choose to think that way any longer, and I'm going to step back here and just let it play out, like however it's going to. And however it plays out is just fine. However things perceive for me, hello, Miss Vicky. So however things look, however, it's just as easy just to let it go and go, you know what, however it is just fine for me. Kendall says, I tend to do this a lot in the past. I still do at times, but I'm learning not to do so. Yes, you know, and that's exactly what was going on for me. It was about my feelings about things that had happened in the past, and it felt like they were playing out in my present time. That's exactly what we're talking about here, Kendall. You know, it's just we have these perceptions of things. Or the other thing that can happen is we think about things over and over and over again that have happened to us, and we just can't seem to let them go. And that is our human part of us. That is that ego part of us saying, look how picked on you are. Look how things never work out for you. Oh my gosh, look how horrible things are. This is how horrible life is. So that's what's going on there. And it's just as easy to say this morning when I heard that question in my head, what are you willing to let go to find your peace? It was easy then. At that point, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm walking away from this. This is not going to keep wasting my valuable time here because it's not worth it. Our higher self, our spiritual self knows better than this. It's that human part of us, it's that ego part of us that gets all caught up in all these little petty, little stupid things that happen. And sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes we want to be a right fighter. I know I tend to be a right fighter. I want to fight it. I want to make it all about me. I want to make up my story. And that is not what's going to bring you peace. The more you right fight it, you go just down the rabbit hole pretty fast. How many have found that? You know, Jenny, I do too, and I'm with you too, and I try to find the positive in every situation. But there are times when things hit us really hard, and it's hard to get out of that, and we get in this little. And I'm with you. You guys see me on here. I try to be very positive. I share the parts of my life that are not always that positive situation and everything, because I want you to see that it's okay to go here, but it's also okay to change the story. Janelle, I'm changing on this and trying to see the best in me. Absolutely. You know, and not only the best in you, but the best in everyone else around you. You know, I've said this before a million times. Everyone around us, you assume that they're doing, this is the only time that you can assume, or you should assume, but you just assume that at any given time, everyone's doing the very best that they know how. And that's a great place to be. When we talk about releasing these tendencies or these patterns, that's kind of what I'm talking about today, is getting to the point where you're ready to be done with them. Getting to the point where you're ready to say, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm not going to go here anymore. This is not where I'm going to be. This is not worth my energy. And literally picking up your bags and walking away from it. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is how do you know when you're ready to drop the baggage? How do you know when you're ready to just step away from it? And, you know, Jenny, you're talking about being positive in every situation. I am too. But I have also realized that there is times when I am not, and it's because I have patterns, and it's because I have thought about things in a certain way that I need to work through and that I need to change. And those are the kind of things that I was referring to here, because we kind of get caught up in that whole little roundabout way of doing things. And it's very interesting how it can very quickly sometimes drag us to a different spot. Thing that I wanted to share with you today is that I feel like the energy of the universe is very supportive right now for healing. And I have felt that in my own work. I have felt that in working with others. There's this very tender, loving energy that's going on right now that is so awesome. And I've seen it in people who have reached out to me. I notice more people are kind of reaching out to that part of it's time to really get down to the nitty gritty way of releasing things and not just keep on pushing through. I had someone tell me the other day, but I thought I dealt with that. And she's not the only one. There was other people that have told me that. I thought I dealt with those things. When I hear people say that, that's like I dealt with the negative behavior of my child, or you spank them, you discipline them, whatever it is that you had to do. To me, in the healing process, we don't deal with anything, we release it and we just let it go forever. And that's been this beautiful energy that is going on right now. If you're feeling very nurtured right now, if you're feeling very well taken care of, if you're feeling secure in what you're doing, that is that energy wrapping you up, because that's where your perception is and that's where you're thinking about it. And that is so cool. If you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Know that it's there for you and it's supportive for you and it's ready to work through any of this. And I feel like right now we're working through a lot of things really rapidly. Like it's just, things are moving quickly. And I've noticed that in the healing sessions that I've done too. I feel like that we go through massive amounts of stuff in a short period of time because that energy is just there to support us in all that we do. Know that as you're seeking this healing, you'll know when it's time to go there. You'll know when it's time to be ready to let go. And that's where I was at this morning. That's why I shared that story with you. It's like, are you willing to just step into this place of everything is right for me right now and just allow that universe to lead you through your path, lead you through whatever it is that you decide to do? I know when I decided to step into mediumship, I had to trust that this is what I was supposed to do. And I've still trusted it again when it told me it was time to let that part of it go for now and step into the healing part of life, because I just trust it. And you guys can do the same thing. It's trusting that energy. When you get these little hits, these little intuitive hits of things that you can be doing to better your life, that's when you just let those things, all right, well, show me the way. Lots of us try to figure it out. We want to plan and we want to do all these things. You don't have to go there. Just, okay, I'm open to it. Show me the way. Show me what you like me to do. I know with all the stuff that I'm talking to you about this week, I know last week I had, from time to time, I sat with my guides, and I've been doing a lot of that work lately. And I sat with them last week and I said, show me who I need to be so that I can be who I need to be for everyone else. And that part of me was shown to me this weekend, of these little kind of petty things that it's time to let them go. And it's time to walk away from them. Oh, Terry. Hi, Terry. I love Gabby Bernstein's. Yes, she talks a lot about, and my mind just went because I can't think about, she does a lot of cool stuff. She does a lot of working with our guides and stepping into that pure side of us where we find that higher self part of us. We find that spiritual side of us. I love Gabby. Yeah, Gabby is very open and stepping into this awesome healing part of ourselves and letting go the parts that aren't supporting us anymore. So I'm glad you're here, Terry. Thanks for sharing. So when you're going through this process, seeking people who have a higher vibration, yes, Terry, surrendering into the universe is a lot. It is. That's a lot of what she teaches too. And to me, that's where I go. That's where I find my healing. Like I was saying earlier, when I stepped out of the closet, I call it my spiritual stepping out of the closet. When I stepped out of the closet, surrendering into that universe and trusting it, that it knew exactly where I needed to go and what I needed to do was a big part. It's the only way that I made it through. And as you learn to surrender into life more, it gets a little easier. At the same time, it gets harder because you wonder what it's going to ask you to do next. Like we start kind of, what are you going to ask me to do next? And that's okay. It's just trusting whatever you get, trusting what you get, going there, living in that place of wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do. And that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, I've been asking my guides to show me who I need to be. Who do I need to be to show up differently so that I can help more people? And that's always an interesting question, because you will see things will start coming up for you that you will realize, oh my gosh, I need to work through that. And it's usually these petty little things of life, these smaller things that have spiraled it into big, huge things. And it's just learning to embrace those, learning that it's just part of our human experience to release all of those things and let them go. So I ask you today, what are you willing to let go of so that you can find this peace? Because as we surrender into this, this is where the greatest peace will come about you that you have ever experienced in your whole life. And I promise you, I have people that have messaged me and they're like, I don't know how to stay in this place of peace. And it's because we've learned not to be there, not want to stay there. We think that life has to be hard. We think that life always has to be, we always have to push, we always have to fight. Life isn't even about fighting. Life is about going through this experience and just walking in, surrendering into the journey. So I ask you all today, there's some of you on today, what are you willing to let go of to find that peace? Is there something that's really just been coming up for you as a pattern for you that you just keep working through? What are you willing to let go to stay in that place of peace? Not only find peace, not touch peace here and there, but live in that place of, oh my gosh, everything is right in my world. And even when everything around you is falling apart, you're still in that place of peace because it doesn't matter. Your perception is everything is okay. So what are you willing to let go of? And I would love it if you would post in the comments. I would love it. I don't care if it's one word. I don't care if you put whatever you want to put in there. If you're open and ready to share, what are you willing to let go of today so that you can stay in that place of peace? Is there one thing just today, because we're not going to fix everything in our whole lives every second of every day. We're not going to ever do that. Is there one thing today, one person, one thing, one thought, one feeling? Terry, feeling like I need to control what's happening. Thank you for sharing. Yes, absolutely. You know, we all want to be in that place of control because we think we have that control. Funny thing is, we have none of it. We just want to tell ourselves, our perception is, I can change the situation, I can change the world, I can change the way people think, I can do all of these things. Thank you for sharing. Kathy, anger towards a certain person. Awesome. Put it out there to the universe. What are you willing to let go today so that you can live into this place of peace? And it's as easy as telling the universe, that's what I'm ready to do, and let's do it. I have goosebumps just listening, Kathy. You can do this. People are just people. Even when they hurt us, even when they don't support us the way that we think, they're just people. Just like we're all in this together. Who else? Thank you for sharing, Terry and Kathy. Who else? What are you willing to let go of today to live in this place of peace? And this place of peace all the time, not contingent upon how everyone treats you, not contingent upon being able to control what happens or how people feel about you or what they say about you. What are you willing to let go? Kendall, the pattern of starting and not finishing and follow through. Awesome. I used to do that, Kendall, and now I'm like, no, baby. Damn it, I'm gonna do it. Kathy, I did too. I got those chills. You know what? Your spiritual side of you does not want us to hold on to this shit. That's exactly what it is it's shit. And we don't need it. We don't have to have it. But that part of us, that right fighter part of us wants to keep it because we think it's our story or we think it's who we are. And it's not. Anyone else want to share? Because I appreciate all of you guys sharing. What are you willing to let go? And if any of you have already shared and you're willing to let go of someone else, post it in the comments because here's your chance. What are you willing to let go of so that you can live in this place of peace every stinking day, every minute, every hour, Not worrying about anything, because you know the universe has got your back. Because the universe does have our back. It's us trusting that what is sent our way is exactly what we need. It's learning to trust in this place of, I have everything that I need. This is why I tell you my mantra is, I have everything that I need before I even know that I need it. So Vicki says, letting things happen as they should and not trying to control the outcome. Absolutely. Control is a big one. We want certainty in our lives. If any of you've listened to Tony Robbins, he talks a lot about certainty and how important it is in our lives. And we think that we have that control, or that we can control people around us so that it will turn out like we want it to turn out. Well, our perceptions, we've already talked about, are not necessarily right for everyone else. Everyone has the right to do what they want to do. And we also have the right to choose and do what you want to do. And you get to choose today whether you're ready to let these things go or not. And I know as some of you say this, you're like, can I let go of the anger? Would it just be that easy? And yes, it can just be that easy. It can just be you saying, I am done. Because these people don't have that much control over me anymore. And I won't allow it. Oh, Kendall, negative inner dialogue. Absolutely. You know, we all have that little inner dialogue that we don't always listen to. It's learning to be okay with not having to overthink things. Oh, I lost all my comments, dang it. We'll find them here in a minute. So anyone else want to share? I love the inner dialogue. That's a good one to let go of. That one has taken me a while to work through it. It's taken me a little bit. I have to admit that one has taken me a little bit to work through, because I feel like it shows up for me in different areas of my life. For some reason, my Facebook just changed. Hold on, because I want to see comments. I feel like that one has shown up for me in different areas of my life, and I told you that before, but it really is just making a conscious effort to not allow those things to happen and not allow your mind to go to that place anymore. Who else? Is there anyone else who wants to share why we're on here today? Because here's your chance. You know, and all these things that we're talking about, this control, these are all part of our human nature. Oh, Betty says fear and anger. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. You know, there's a lot of fear and anger going on right now in the world. I have a saying that I tell myself over the fear. I can choose to live in fear. I can choose to live in love, but you can't have them both. And so I tell myself that when I start going to this, what if that happens, and what if this happens, and what if, because it doesn't matter. That's not what it's about. I can choose to live in fear. I can choose to live in love. And I choose to go for love. That means I let that go. And that anger, we can go to these places of anger, or you can choose to live in love as well. So good for you, Betty. Let that sucker go today. Is there anything particular that those fall in for you, Betty, that you feel like are a problem for you? Is there anything in particular? Because I feel like you might be talking about something in particular. Because I think those two fall in together very well. If you want to share, that would be great. I would love to hear your comments on that. Is there anyone else? Anyone else who's brave to put it out there to the universe? What are you willing to let go of today so that you can find your peace, and so that you can stay here in this place of peace? And as we stay in this place of peace, I promise you, the universe will guide your path, and it will be so much easier for you. You won't even believe it. You're like, geez, I thought I had to fight for life. You don't have to fight. There's nothing to fight for. That's part of us that wants to control the situation. We have to fight to get what we want. You know, how many of you have went through, yes, that's what I thought. I felt that, Betty. There was definitely something there that was connected to all of those. And I can totally understand that. Expectations are huge too. Oh my gosh. That goes back to those perceptions that I was talking about earlier. If you caught the first part of this, excuse me, I was talking about how our perceptions and our expectations of life always they get in our way, because they cloud our vision of what things really can be for us, and it's all a choice. You know, Betty, you have a huge, huge decision to make here. And I'm just going to say it because I feel it in my very being. I hope you're okay with me saying it. Here is a defining moment for you in your life, and you have an opportunity to step away from that and step into a place of seeing him in a different light, or you have the opportunity to live out the rest of your life pissed off and angry at him because life changed. Yes, Betty, you don't need to fight it. You know, I've been thinking a lot about this because, and I'm just going to say this, and this is kind of off of our little path here. Hello, Charlie, welcome. You're very welcome. When we fight for things, it's because we're fighting for what we thought it was supposed to be. And we're fighting for what we felt we wanted in life that we didn't get. And when it's snatched away from us, which is where that fear comes in, you know, you can choose to go to this place of I can't trust people and I'll never be able to trust again. And how can I give away? Or you can move into this place of what do I need to learn from this? What do I need to understand from this? What can I let go from all of this? And what can I use? What are the tools that I can use to help me move forward in my life? So those are the questions that you can choose to ask yourself. Or you can choose to stay in this place of I'm scared to death for my life. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know how I'm ever going to pay my bills. I don't know how I'm ever going to do any of this. And what a dumbass, sorry, for putting me in this situation. We could probably call him a lot of other words, but we'll keep it at that. And I'm only saying that, I'm not calling him that. I'm saying that as, you know, those are feelings that we have and you get to choose here, which is the super, super coolest thing in the whole world. Yes, Terry's like, read Gabby's book, The Universe Has My Back. Yes, absolutely. Betty, go get Gabby's book, go download it, go read The Universe Has My Back, because everything that we go through, there is a reason for everything. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes. There's only lessons for us to learn. And there's ways, I believe one of our big lessons for each and every one of us here are to learn to love everyone, even exes, even people who have hurt us, everyone with unconditional love, and see them as our true spiritual side is. And that's really hard sometimes, especially in situations like this, where we have all this going on and it's hurtful and it makes us angry and we feel like things haven't worked out. See, there's that uncertainty, there's that control, there's all of those issues rolled up into that. So yes, go get Gabby's book, go read her book, The Universe Has My Back, because she is amazing. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, because that's why we're all here. You know, we're all here to help each other out. We're all here. I am all for love and light, but I am also here to be realistic and learn for ways to give you guys hints and ideas on how to step into that positive love and light more often. But there's still things that come up for us. They come up for a reason. They come up because we need to work through them. They come up because healing needs to happen. They come up because of all these things. And it's just an opportunity to make a choice. Are you going to heal? Or are you going to go down the grumpy path, the angry path, the nasty path? And it's okay to go down that path for a while, but how long are you going to stay there? Because you won't find your peace there. And the universe isn't guiding your back there. That's you in this place of this humanness going, things didn't work out the way that I thought they were going to. So does anyone else want to share anything here? What are you willing to give up so that you can find your peace? Such a cool question today. Such an absolute cool question. What are you willing to let go of? Just that one word, just that one, whatever it is for you. What are you struggling with that you are tired of fighting for your life, or you feel like you have to fight? What are you struggling with? And post it in the comments if you feel like sharing, because I would love to hear, because all the comments, I appreciate everybody that has shared so far, because we all need each other. We all need each other in this fight. We all need to understand that we are in this together. And some people get mad when you say that. I don't get mad. We're all the same. We're all here doing the same dang things together. It's just time that we all need to come together and realize that our energy can all come together and build each other up. And the universe can come together and build us all up. And we can do this together, and we do it one person at a time, one healing at a time, one day at a time. one smile at a time. That's how we do all of this. So does anyone else want to share? What are you willing to let go of today? Anybody that's already shared, is there anything else you want to give to the universe today? Because here's your chance. Louise, fear of the unknown. Yeah, we were talking about that just a little bit ago, that fear of uncertainty, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen. We all do the what if, what if, what if. You know, and you can choose to live your life in fear. You can live your life in love, and you get to choose. For me, I always try to push through. I may stay in that fear place for a minute, but then I go, nope, you know what? I'm not living my life in a box. Not living my life being afraid of what could happen and never taking a chance to have known what could have possibly what did happen. Kendall says, I love watching these because it also seems what I need, as others are saying as well. Yes, that's why I comment, give back, because we all need this together. We all need to stay in this together. To me, we all are in this whole healing thing together, and I love it. I love watching people grow. I love watching people blossom. I love watching people push through. And not in a fighting push through, but just decide that here we are. This is what we're going to do. Luz, do you have something that you fear that you'd like to talk about? Is there something that is pressing for you? Because I feel like it has to do with something too. Terry, while she's doing that, let's talk about expectations for a minute, because I think so many of us have these beliefs, because they are beliefs and expectations, especially upon others and upon ourselves. It's for ourselves and others. Sometimes though, usually the way that we see what we are thinking and feeling is because of how we feel about others and what we think they should be doing with their life, or what we think they should be working through, or how they should see things, or those type of things. You know, those expectations get all caught up, and expectations to me and control kind of, they're not the same, but they roll together a little bit for me. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about here, because there's this place where we just kind of have to step out of that and go, you know what? People are people. They can do whatever they like. The only thing that I can expect from anyone is what I expect out. I can't expect anything from anyone else. I can only expect stuff for myself. Because if we sit around waiting for people to show up for us, it'll never happen. And it leaves us disappointed. In fact, this is a lot of what was going on for me over the weekend. So is there some place particular in your life, Terry, that those expectations come in harder for you than others? Because I know it's sometimes hard, especially with our family. We expect these people to show up for us. We expect people to do things for us, and then it leaves us feeling like we don't matter. And that kind of can be a tough place to be at times, sometimes. Luz, development of spirit. So you're afraid, are you afraid of spirit? And I love that, Kendall. Speaking of growth, letting go of my comfort zone. Oh yeah, that's a huge one. Me doing lives, that's a big, I'm getting now though, that where I'm just, this is kind of my comfort zone now. It's kind of cool. I've been working on my website, and I've been recording a ton of videos, and this doesn't bother me at all. I know it probably should, but I just get on here and open my mouth and let spirit do its thing. So yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone. I think we should all step out of our comfort zone just about every day. I think you should do things every day that make you push yourself. Oh yeah, Terry said, put expectations on myself. I'm a giver. Oh yeah, those are hard too, because we expect ourselves. Oh, and you're a pusher. You push so hard, and then you go to bed at night feeling like you still didn't do enough, instead of accepting that whatever you do is just fine for the day. I feel that with you. I'm like, oh, worked on not expecting so much of myself. Yeah. You know, you don't have to be doing stuff all the time, and you don't have to look a certain way or be a certain way, or you just have to be you. And stepping into that place of peace for you in that area, oh, that would be huge. I feel that shift, like it's coming. It's right there, Terry. That shift is coming for you. You're going to be sitting around watching Netflix and be going, what the heck has happened to me? Because you're just going to be such in a place of it's all okay. Oh, Liz, not necessarily just feeling stuck and having a fear of being wrong. There's nothing wrong with no's, and there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Being wrong doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. We don't always perceive the information the right way. So that's where practice comes in. Practice, 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 pushing through. You know, the more you do it, the more you sit with spirit, the more you have them help you, that will go away. Because it doesn't matter. There's no, even if we get a no in a reading, even if you, even if you get that no, but staying in that fear will keep you from tapping into them 100% wholeheartedly. You've really got to step out of that fear and just trust that whatever you get is what you get, and that's what you do. In all my readings, no matter, you know, when I've stepped away from mediumship, most of you know that, for the time being, as I work into this healing and get my stuff going, I had to learn that from the minute that I tap into spirit, I have to consider everything, whether I'm doing healing or mediumship or anything, whatever I get is what I get. And I trust that it comes from them. So know that it's not about being right or wrong. Nobody's, if you listen to some of the most amazing mediums, if you're on 80%, it's a damn good reading. If I hit 80%, if I hit 90%, wow, I was on the ball. If you're 100%, somebody's not being honest with you, because we don't perceive things 100% in our humanness. So don't forget that as you're going through this. Terry says, thanks, I've worked a ton on myself. I have noticed that. So happy with where I am today. Yeah, take a step back, girl. It's not always about working hard. Working hard isn't what healing is all about. Stepping into ourselves and finding that peace, and the rest of it will come. So you're amazing just the way that you are. You don't have to push through. You don't have to do any of this. Just surrender into this whole process. That's what I do when I ask the universe, who do I need to be today? Who do I need to be to show up, to be able to work into the goals that I have set for myself? Who do I need to be? And then I don't go out and seek it. I let it all come to me. And I just ask for that understanding as it rolls in. So it's not about doing, it's more about setting and allowing. So I love you, girl. I think you're pretty amazing. So, and you're welcome, Liz. I hope that helps you. You know, I think there's different ways to look at everything that we go through. So, and it helps. That's why we do these. It helps to have other people to give us different perspectives. Those who've been on the road a little bit longer sometimes. Yep, surrendering now. You know, for me, surrendering was a process, because I used to be a goer and I used to do so much. And I felt that if I didn't get up and clean my house and bake bread, and, you know, back in my younger mom days, if I didn't do everything like I was supposed to every single day, and my kids weren't perfect and my kids weren't clean, then I didn't do anything that day. And it was so stupid, because I lived in this place of never enough. And I have stepped in now to, I have everything that I need. My life is amazing. You know what? My house isn't as clean as it used to be, but I don't care, because I find peace with it. And that's what you guys can all do, is just finding that peace. It's finding our stable ground, knowing that there are things that just don't matter. But yet in our humanness, we have put such emphasis on them that they do matter. But that's where we need to trust into this place and surrender and grow. Yeah, Liz, you know what? Surrender and trust. There's so much out there in the whole mediumship. You know, find someone that you trust. Find someone. To me, my biggest surrender came the year that I stepped into mediumship. You know, those of you who know my story, if you've read my book, I have seen spirits since I was a little girl. And I felt things, but I never shared it. And I was terrified to step into it. It took everything I had to step out of my box, out of my comfort zone. Because I was a wedding and family photographer for 10 years. Before that, I taught school. Like, I did all of the normal socially accepted things. And it was really hard for me to step out of the closet and surrender and trust that whatever I got, whatever I did, the universe had my back. And it was a tough time. It took me a long time. I was worried about my kids. I was worried about people making fun of my kids. I was worried about my home life. I was worried about people my husband worked with. And I had to have my husband on board before I could completely step out into that. But once I did, and it took a little while. When I first stepped out, I was walking on eggshells. I won't lie, I walked on eggshells for a while because I was afraid that my ground was going to come tumbling out from under me, and it did. If any of you have read my book, it did. It came tumbling out from under me. And but then I was able to pick myself up and put myself back together and know that truly the universe has my back, and I trust everything that they do for me. And you're going to do the same. We're asked to do these things, to let go of the heavy shit that we carry so that we can learn to trust in our guides, in the spirit world, in our people, in everything that we do. And all of us can learn to surrender and trust. It's not always easy to do, but we can do it. We are here to do it. We are designed to do it. You're listening today because you're seeking that part of life. You're seeking those things. So allow them to come into your life and trust that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And I went through a really hard time. You know, my story's all in there in my book, but I went through a really hard time for a while. But you know, when I came out of it, I will stay in woo-woo land forever because this is where I belong. And there's nobody that's going to talk me out of it or tell me that what I do is evil or wrong, or, you know, because that is their perception of things. You know, so many people have their own expectations, their own belief systems about this kind of stuff. That's fine. Let them have it. But I know where I stand, and I know where I am, and I will stay there for the rest of I'll be the 80-year-old lady still standing up here telling you to get your shiz buckets together and we can all do this together, because I know this is where I belong. And each and every one of you can have that for yourself. Each and every one of you can step into this place of knowing and trusting that you're right where you need to be, and you have been right through exactly what you needed to go through to learn the lessons that you need to learn. And if you will trust that in every situation, you don't have a need to go to these darker places. It's not that we don't, but you won't stay there as long, and you'll be able to move through that and step out of it. And it comes so much easier. You know, if you need help finding your sure footing, finding where you need to be, get help. Seek people who have a higher vibration than you. Seek healers, seek people who can help you so that you can get yourself going in the right direction, because there's nothing wrong with asking for help either. I have plenty of people who have helped me along my way, and I'm grateful for them, because I wouldn't be here today without those that had been on my path and that I was able to step into and hold their hand for a while. Sometimes they held my hand for a while I went through the hard stuff, and then I was able to step out of that and move on. And you guys can all do the same. So, is there anybody else who wants to share today what they're willing to give up to the universe? I feel like lots of healing has happened here today. Does anybody else feel that? I feel like even for myself, I feel like there's been a lot of energy shifts that have happened just talking through this stuff today. So does anybody else want to share anything? Does anybody else have any questions while you have me on here? Because I'm tapped in, turned on. Let's do this, because I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to do whatever it is. Agreed. Absolutely, Liz. Yep, agreed. So is there anyone else? Does anyone have anything to say? I appreciate you sharing today. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you trusting me and listening to me. And I'm glad you're all here. So does anybody else want to share anything? Does anyone else want one last Hail Mary that you're going to give to the universe today? Because I'm with you. I have stepped into surrender one more time. You know, there's different layers of surrender too. I have learned that along my path. And the surrender layer that I started out with was not as deeper as the surrender layer that I do now. And it's only because I've worked through the different layers. It seems like we have to go through different layers. Terry might understand that. It seems like there's different layers of surrender and trust. There's different layers. I know I've went through times in my life where I have trusted no matter what, and then it kind of shifts for me because something shifts and I need to work through something else, and so I have a hard time trusting for a little bit, and then I do it again. I step into it and I'm like, nope, we're there. It's a new level. It's a new step up. It's a new place of being, and we're all on different levels, but we're all going through all this at the same time. You're never standing still. You're always moving. So don't forget that. You can't stand still. That's not how the energy works. You're either moving up or you're moving back, but you're doing something, and it doesn't matter. Yep, Terry, absolutely. There's so many different layers, so many different things that we go through. And just because you're not on the same layer with somebody, it doesn't matter. We're all on this, on our own individual journey, but yet we're all doing this together. So Betty, you're welcome. You're so welcome. I'm so glad you're listening and you're on today. So Terry, thank you for listening. Thank you, Liz. Thank you for your comments. I'm so glad you were on today. Let me know if you're watching the Ashley, I have to surrender and trust. You know, we all do. You know, these words, we throw them out there like, oh, just surrender. You know, some people think, I'm being told to say, some people think surrender means quitting. Surrender is not quitting. Surrender is just saying that somebody else has a better plan than I do, and I'll just trust it and go for it. That's all you're saying. It's letting go of that, that control, letting go of that control of our lives and just stepping into that and going, okay, you know what? Somebody else has a better plan. I'm still getting downloads, so I can tell you one more thing. You know, I was thinking about this whole surrender thing and trusting and stepping into this is kind of like booking a guided tour over booking your own tour and taking it yourself. So I want you to think about this as you surrender. If you book a guided tour, you're not worried about driving. You're not worried about where you're going for the day. You're only worried about what time you're supposed to show up and where your luggage is supposed to be, correct? Would everybody agree with that? So this whole surrendering into the universe is like booking the top of the line 5-star guided tour. And all you need to do is show up and maybe have a little bit of luggage, but you don't need much, like, because they're going to take care of you. They're going to give you everything you need. So think about that as you step into this whole surrender thing. It is not giving up. It is not, we don't need to fight, but it's not giving up. It's just stepping in and trusting that someone else has a better plan than you do. You know, if you've ever traveled abroad, the people who live there know way more than you do. So you trust them and you let them take you everywhere. It's the same thing with the universe. So Ashley, but putting in the effort to step forward when you're not really sure. You know, Ashley, we don't always know what we're really sure in. And I have a saying that I tell myself a lot: until I really know, I just don't do anything about it. And I just step back and trust. See, this is where that trust comes in. I don't step in anymore. If things I've learned in all, especially my business stuff, I have learned that I don't do anything until I see my path. And suddenly it will just come, and it's right laid out before me. It happened with my whole launch that's coming up here pretty soon, probably in the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be ready to launch my whole membership website. And it was really funny because I really wasn't sure how that was all going to lay out. And then one day, with lots of help, and the universe sent me lots of people, it literally laid itself out like a map. And you can get the same thing. And I've been wanting to do this membership for probably 2 years now, a good 2 years. And it has never happened for me. And suddenly, just like that, there it is. And it's because I've had help. It's because the universe have brought people to me. And it's because I've asked for the clarity, and it finally came. And you can get the same thing. If you're not really sure what to do, ask. And then don't do anything. Sit back and watch it come to you. And then be open when you get little hits from people, when you get things about it. Sit with it. Do I need to go here? Because then the universe is going to start sending you things. And you don't need to go actively seeking them, but you need to be open and willing to accept the help when it comes, or whatever you're asking for. So I hope that helps you a little bit understand that, because we don't have to go out and fight for everything. We don't, you know, all of us think we've been told you got to work hard. You got to work hard. If you don't work hard, you're not going to get anything. I don't believe in a lot of that anymore. I used to. I was raised that way. Now I sit back and say, show me where you would have me go. Show me what you would have me do. And help me to know and understand when you give me the signs. See, Terry just used my words here. What I need to do with those, so that I know and understand. Sometimes I don't always understand what they're giving me, and I ask for clarification. So what are you telling me here? Can you please give it to me in a way that I understand so that I know this is what I'm doing? And that's how we get those answers. That's how we push through that. It really is a new way of thinking. It really is. And it's hard for some of us who have been taught to work hard, show up, you know, keep pushing, pushing, pushing. The day that I realized I didn't have to push and have to work so hard at it and that it would come to me if I would allow it, that was a huge day for me. And it can be a huge day for all of you too. If you haven't studied the law of attraction, if you haven't studied any of that, I actually part of probably looking to doing that this fall. I want to do a class on teaching the law of attraction because it really changes the way you look at life and it changes the way that you see things, and it's pretty dang amazing. And Gabby Bernstein that Terry was talking about talks a lot of law of attraction. And Terry, I can't think of what she teaches. What is the guidebook that she teaches? Because my mind is like going crazy and it's driving me crazy. I want to Google it. You know what I'm talking, I'm like, you know what I'm talking about, Terry. I get on here and I get my one track mind and I can't think about it. It's not coming. Anyway, Terry, I'll post that here in a minute. It's right there because she teaches, there's a book out there and it's really complex and she teaches a lot of that stuff from her own studies. Anyway, it'll come. So anyway, I hope that's helped all of you. If you're watching this on the replay, post your stuff in there. It will do the same thing for you. I feel like there's been tons and tons of healing today. And I appreciate you guys all stepping in and helping me out. I love seeing all your beautiful little comments on here and your beautiful little faces pop up. So thanks for joining me. The Super Attractor. What's the book? Okay, you guys have to hold on because I have to post it because she teaches hold on. Sorry, I have to do it. She's got the Super Attractor. Oh, she talks about, I don't know why I'm having such a brain fart. I'll find it and I'll post it in the comments. Because she does a lot of super manifesting, but she gets them from, she taught, oh my heck, it's going to drive me crazy. Of course, that's not it. Is that it? I'll find it. I'll post it. She definitely talks about level of fear and the Super Attractor. I'm sorry to make you wait there for a second. I'll post it in the comments because I'll have to go find it because there's a book out that's really complex, but that's how she started doing all of her stuff. And it basically teaches about the law of attraction and all those cool stuff. So I appreciate y'all being here today. I love you all and have a fabulous Monday, and I'll see you all soon.